after you have finished reading the model text for Checkpoint 1, then you are going to complete parts 1 through 4 in the Checkpoint document. So whenever you open your Checkpoint document, you'll see that it says, in the space below, you will evaluate or judge an argument from an article. So you've already read the argument that you are evaluating and judging. You've already identified the pieces of the argument: claim, subclaims, evidence, counterclaim, and rebuttal. So on your document, part 4 is at the top, but you're going to complete this after you have completed parts 1 through 3 below. So we're going to scroll down to part 1. So this document already has our information that we covered together in class. So if you'll notice, your instructions here say the blue text below is information every class should have in the space. So we use the information in our model text to complete this area. So the text title we got from our document. So we just highlighted and pasted it over. The rhetor is the author or the speaker. And in our argument, there was no rhetor, no author or speaker who was named in the argument, so we just put none. Part 1 asks us to identify the claim. So we already did that in our document. We highlighted that sentence, so we just copied and pasted our sentence over to identify the claim. And then, are there any qualifiers? A qualifier is if they kind of limit or qualify their claim. So in this case, she said that we need to eliminate beauty pageants. So she comes out with a very strong opinion. But then she limits that opinion and she says, at least in their current form. So that leads us to think like maybe beauty pageants could continue if they were changed a little bit. So we don't necessarily need to eliminate them. We just at least need to change how they are now. So we said, are there any qualifiers? If so, what? Yes, at least. She wants to at least change the pageants. So we made that note. Are there any exceptions? Is there anyone that this claim doesn't apply to? Do we need to eliminate for everyone except teenagers, or everyone except preteens, or everyone except? In this case, no. There were no exceptions in the claim. So moving on to part 2, we completed reason 1 together. So part 2 analyzed the reasons and the evidence. So her first reason, her first subclaim, again, if we go back to our text, we already identified her first reason in the topic sentence, and in her claim, we identified the first subclaim that she had. So you could copy that from either spot. We're going to copy it from her body paragraph because that's her first reason that we're going to be looking at. So copy, and then we pasted that in right here. So then each class came up with their own information to judge this reason, and that's what you see here with the different colors. So these different colors, you can choose whichever answer you like the best, or you can even come up with your own answer to this question. What makes this reason relevant? So if we think about this reason, how is this reason relevant to her claim of eliminating beauty pageants? So in class, the classes discussed these different reasons and we added those to our chart. Second, what makes this reason effective? What makes this reason work? Or, if you think it is ineffective and it doesn't work, what makes it ineffective? And then last, what evidence supports this reason? And again, this is where we copy and pasted from our text. So we looked back at our text and we had our 2 quotes. So we copied each of the quotes and we pasted those into our document here. So after you have copied and pasted in your evidence, now the second side of this column is asking us to evaluate the evidence. So notice each question is about the evidence. So if we think about the evidence that the author provided to support her reason, we want to think about, is this evidence sufficient? Is it enough to convince us? Or is there information lacking? Is it not very strong? So you can think about sufficient as being strong. Is it enough? Second, is this evidence credible? So we talked about credible means believable in the entry event video and in class for the entry event. Is this evidence credible? Is it from a credible source? Is it from a credible person? Is it from a credible article? So thinking about, is this credible? Can we believe it and trust it? And then last, is this evidence accurate? Is it true? Is it real? Is it accurate and believable for us as far as the truth of the evidence? Okay, so we used these sentence stems to answer each of those questions. So you can use those same sentence stems as well. We only did the first reason together, and then you're completing reason 2 on your own, and you're completing part 3 on your own. So one thing to note, we have this section about logical fallacies or the information being illogical. So this information is information that comes from our our additional focus area of logic. And if you have gotten to that focus area, that can help you with this section. We're working on this information being optional, and it will help push you to the 6th zone on your score. Even if you're not sure about logical fallacies, there's a resource in the platform that can help you, and the additional focus area can help you. But even if you're not sure about the fallacy, you could at least attempt to answer, is there anything illogical about the argument, or was everything logical and solid to you? So if you want to try to push your score higher, this section is a section that you can attempt on either one reason or both reasons if you want. And then keep in mind, whenever you identify the counterclaim that the author provided, the rebuttal is the response to that counterclaim. So when she stated the counterclaim, when she stated the other side of that argument, how did she respond to the other side? Okay, that will help you complete parts 1 through 3 of your checkpoint. And when you are ready for checkpoint 4, you can look at the video that is provided in your instruction slides about part 4.